Europe League as we are ready for game number 11. 16 of the most elite teams from Europe and CIS will clash head-to-head once again. It's day number 3 as we are getting ready for Erangel once again here live from the Berlin Messe in Berlin. Imagine that. It's time to head over to the commentary team for all the action.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's another beautiful day in Berlin, and it's a beautiful day over the skies of Erangel. It's a plane that suits just about everyone, unless you're, well, maybe trying to get up to Zaki, but I think North George for Razor Edge should be fine. Rich is with me again, once again.
Hello.
And Razor Edge actually bailing down for Primos.
They are. Usual culprits kind of hanging around that area. Again, a plane like this, you would expect everybody to go to home position. I know we talk about it time and time again, but it's... I suppose this one isn't as important as Miramar. When we look towards Erangel, if you get a good flight path, even if you get a bad one, to be honest with you, generally speaking, you can get to either where you want to be or at least make something happen. If we look to a different point of view when we go on to Miramar, which we obviously will be at the end of the day, we can talk more about that one, but it becomes a hell of a lot more difficult. Circles on this generally a lot more easier to attain to and kind of adapt to, so to speak, is a better word. But everyone should generally be able to get down, get the feed on, get looted up, and we'll see where this first circle comes in.
And again, we've got NIP heading over towards Lipovka and pressuring the Pittsburgh Knights for their loot sort of strategies over this way. And it's something we saw at the tail end of yesterday. Didn't really hamper them, but it also didn't work that great. I mean, yes, Georgia Ball was definitely doable there. I mean, look at Red Diamonds. They're dropping for vehicles, and off they go to South George.
It's as if they actually knew the information, Lee.
Well, this is a similar circle to what we finished with. No, Game 4. Game 4 yesterday. Circle very similar to this one, obviously, where we saw it was G2 that came out on top in that game in a monster performance.
I mean, this time round when we look towards this circle, obviously for NIP it's played out because they're pretty much dead center of the circle, to be honest with you. Positive, negative effects of this loot pattern, but positives being that if they want to get aggressive in this kind of scenario and within this league where points do make prize at the end of the day, if you get a big fragger on the team, they can really jump you up there. I mean, look at what Michael's doing for TSM. Look at what Natus is doing for Vitality. You get some really, really heavy hitters on your roster, and they can throw you straight up the rankings. NIP are in a position where they could potentially go hunting some scalps, to be honest with you. If they want to play a little bit early game aggression, they're more than welcome to. Negative side of where they're looting. One, it's going to be limited loot. Obviously, compared to Georgia, Paul, you've got a lot of resources that you can fall back on. For this, you're going to have to go through the individual houses, the individual little compounds. More importantly, biggest knock-on effect to this looting pattern, they're surrounded by so many players. You've got ENCE that are lingering around this area. You've got the Knights that, again, are lingering around this area. All right, ENCE, they're more further up in Stalber, but you have the odd player now and again that will scout around this area, look for vehicles. It's actually going to be Mikaz in this scenario. ENCE obviously extends a little bit further up. He'll be keeping an eye on things for FaZe Clan. And then again, the Knights could wander over here. The Knights in this one are more aiming towards the shelter side. We've seen the Knights for quite an awful lot of time. They generally took, as you said, that area.
Yeah, they've been pressured at Lipovka before as well.
They've always been known for that, but it's changed things up a little bit.
It's interesting, though. I mean, obviously, you know, this is the first league format that PUBG has for Europe. Obviously, we've seen it in America, and obviously Korea has just concluded as well, along with China. So we're just waiting for the final European teams. But unlike, say, you know, if you have a one-off event, so you'd fly over to America and have a 3-day event, or you'd come over to the Ukraine, in fact, to Kiev. You know, if you're on your form, it counts, and bam, you've done it, and you'll have a good performance. But this time it's a 3-week patch. Now, if you're off form in that period, where some of these players are, you know, and has rightly been pointed out by some of the contenders teams, you know, stop whining, you're in this position, suck it up and do better. But if you are in that bad patch, it really can be compounded by the fact that, you know, you're playing day in, day out for 3 weeks straight. And if you can't sort your form out, it's going to really affect you mentally.
And with the breaks in between, you have an opportunity to tune things, fine-tune things, make things happen, change things up, you know, work with your strategist if you have one, work with your coach, work with your IGL, watch the VODs back, sit down as a team and say, where did we go wrong? What can we do better? How can we rotate better? Where are our failings? What are our strong points? Can we expand on that?
And this is probably the biggest time we're going to see coaches make an impact on teams.
I think
while
honestly,
they're at an event, you're minimalistic, right? When you're in a hotel environment. Now they're in, some of them are in apartments. They're not all of them.
Totally right.
But this is where a coach absolutely should earn his money.
Legitimately now, we're getting to a point where PUBG is like many other esports, where it's a 4-man team but a 5-man roster.
Yeah.
You need that 5th man in the back. Okay, they're not involved while the game's going on, but in between each and every single game, you're looking to him for information, advice, not just moral support. I know there's a few there will be some coaches that do have to bump the team up, because that's the whole part and parcel of it. You are playing mother when
the babysitters.
When your head's down, you need someone there apart from your IGL to kind of get the team rallied back and work together. But as we stop off for a second, rotations are already happening.
It's heaven, yeah. I think M19 wanted to get there first, and Vitality kind of beat them to it. And you can see Monkeys just sort of seeing them off in the distance. But yeah, back to your points. I mean, this is what it's about now. This is where a coach or a manager should be huge.
Both Knights and Vitality.
Oh, it's Reels.
Yeah, they're arguing for this one. Reels is downstairs, pre-fire from Jazza coming out, but Reels going to get the call that he is looking outside the window. That's a really good read from Reels. He gets the call that it's time to push up. He's facing the window. Drayden will be able to get a pick back up, but that nade, unfortunately, is actually a team nade. That's really unlucky timing. It was a good call from downstairs to get the push, but it was bad timing at the same one.
And Shadow's just gone down as well. He's just been hit by Jeems. So Nasus suddenly finds himself 2 men down. I don't know where his teammate is, Vitality, but they have splintered and run. Is he the last man standing? No, Monkey's left in the house. Oh, he's completely abandoned in heaven.
Jazza won't be able to be revived off this one. They don't just have to go for it yet. That's the confirmation. Monkey will probably be benefiting from this if he can back off from it. If he's got a vehicle down there just ditched, I
don't know if they realise he's there. I think he could have maybe even just gone for a sneaky play and just tried to stick himself in a bathroom or something.
I mean, when they've already lost 2, is there any point in trying to hold it? I mean, perpendicular to
just hiding.
I suppose from a circle stance, it's not a bad place to kind of do that. Oof. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice quick draw as well.
Yeah.
Stick that in the back pocket and you're going to be laughing. CrowCrowd.
Manchester's going to get it.
They're a team that could do with this. Honestly, it's rough to say they're struggling, but they kind of are. They've not had the best few first days to go. Obviously, getting the feet on the ground here, and they need to try and make something happen as a team.
It's a big upgrade. He had tier 1 gear. He had tier 1 gear, and he just gets himself level 3s in there. That's a big boost right for him there.
They need to put it to good use, though, Lee. And I think when you get into something like that, a gift from the gods that is full level 3, obviously with every single crate and an AWM extended mag, 7 bullets in the chamber, you got to make every single one of those 20 that you get in the ammunition count.
Now, I'm looking at the map right now. Is Navi setting up, or are they just trading meds, I wonder? Because if they are posting up, and maybe looked at yesterday's VODs, similar circle to this, Raise Your Edge did the same path. Now, is this a legit gate camp right now? Because they're still not moving.
It could be, Lee. I think it's... I mean, we'll see if they go ahead of the circle.
I think we'd see them in slightly different positions, maybe, but they are either side of the road right now.
This is either the 3rd or 4th time I've seen them do this rotation, so maybe now they're getting this information and getting the read that Raise Your Edge may potentially be doing this. I mean, if not, you would have thought that they'll be coming in from the western side of the circle if they've got a scout that's looking for these transitions.
They're still not moving, so this looks like it may actually be the case. Yes, it is. That is 100% a camp. Look at that, 2-2, either side. Nice spread as well. You got the forward man, second guy at the back to pick it up. Yeah, look at that. That is a total camp on Raise Your Edge. And it's the team at the bottom of the table, I'm afraid to say, are in a tricky spot here. Will they scout it out? Yes, I can see, looks like Znark has got himself out on the minimap to just scout it and see. The question is, are they keeping themselves hidden? Which I guess they are.
You can see it's a little bit of a fireworks show on the map on the right-hand side. Everyone just warning shots are in abundance.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, here we go. We have to keep an eye
Fast
on
Rail's the first man, and it's Fast Rail and Znark. Znark's just pulled up.
They must have info here, surely. I mean, they will in a second now. Oh, dear. This could be... I mean, if he pulls out, you would assume...
Recurrent needs to wait for the first car to go past, right, to maximize the effect. There we go. He's going to stay down. Waits for Cup of Magic. Thank you very much. Now times. Pops out. Cup of Magic goes down. Snark's going to get picked off. Maybe did he get past? Not too sure. Fast Rail's down the side. He's bailed out. It's the Fast Rail that got through. But yeah, I think Battalian's going to try and track him down here. Recurrent's already looking for him. The rest of Raise Your Edge, they're stuck in the blue and they've had to turn around and do something. It is only the phase 1 circle, so it's not the end of the world. It shouldn't do too much damage, but that's 2 players down. Good preparation work from Navi to spot that. Look at how it's been playing the last few days. That's showing real research there.
It does, and it also plays a bigger storyline for the next few games going forward. They've now set the tone that Raise Your Edge can no longer follow them off of Military Island. So in theory now, they can play the rest of the matches by thinking, all right, Raise Your Edge are not going to do this again. They've kind of put a halt on what's been happening so they can continue looting for the rest of today. And all being well, you shouldn't really have to worry that Raise Your Edge is going to be behind them. You won't expect them to do that same rotation because they know Navi's always going to be there. So it's more of a warning point and say, look, we've already had to deal with Liquid and Pachinki in the previous games. I don't want to be dealing with you constantly, you know, trailing on our asses every single one.
Ooh, so as you can see, obviously the circle did update. It has kind of pulled over towards Lipovka way and Mansion. So it's a tricky circle for everyone involved, including the map right now. But Wanted and Snark, yeah, they're going to have to be in the boat. They're going to have to take the long journey back. TSM look like they're going to be sitting on crates. FaZe have gone for what has kind of become their new standard compound, right? Because G2 are on the wall, to the prison wall, so standard spot for them. The Knights have chosen a different spot because they're still up in heaven, they were. So they've just sort of drifted across the Mansion. Whereas, you know, think as past circles, I should say, they would often sit around that prison area with the Harry Potter, but they chose to be a bit more central for this one. Meanwhile, it looks like Digital Athletics and M19 are clashing, as well as Red Diamonds coming in on Winstrike here, just down the coastline.
Jolski falls back as he gets tanked up for now. That allows the rest of Red Diamonds to reposition. You see Best Lock trying to get a much better angle. The vehicles are coming through, so they can back off from this one while he's healing and just secure them a better position, to be honest with you. Tixu obviously gets the call as well. Timmy with the pre-fire. More of a warning shot to try and keep your distance, to be honest.
Sixmo from Digital Athletics has just gone south, and Navi are coming in right in that exact same spot.
So they're that little ditch on the side of the road,
rotating in. Yeah, they all want that same spot, but he's kind of, he's on the bike. He's all right. He's just going to blast away from that one. Wow, Sadovnik. Flipping that bike.
Yeah, it was not happy, that's for sure. I'm just realising an M24 in the background as well, so they have to be aware of that. Obviously, it's the biggest gun you can find on the map in terms of world spawning, so having that in the hands of a decent sniper will play big dividends for the team, especially if you're looking to try and take control of a compound and push on a breach and get initial knock through the window. It's always nice to be able to see a big boy sniper in the hands of someone who can actually use it, to be honest. Samty and Nibi taking a little bit of a ball cut, obviously. Vehicles up in front.
It's the double ditch for them as well. I think, oh no, the other two are in the compound, Jebty and Jeems. So they've managed to keep themselves together. They had a fairly early rotate. Nasus, of course, he's finally joining back up with Monkey. So Vitality just down to 2, but they have managed to regroup, which is something for them. We've seen teams certainly quite easy snaking it. And there, it pulls away from the water. And suddenly that position, that Mansion area and where Team Liquid are on the double ditches. Now, this is risky, Rich, because Team Liquid's position, yes, it's a 2-2, but the ditch is almost certainly going to get pushed by someone here from the left.
I mean, the fact that it's such a small ditch, they can skyline that and they can watch for anyone who wants to come near them. And again, they'll be able to put out, because it's so open, they'll have so much opportunity to be able to lay down fire on any oncoming vehicles, which will hold them back. So it's not too bad. And the fact that they have an emergency exit over to where Jeems is already posted on the opposing side of the road in their little compound, they're keeping that one under control, because depending on this circle, both of these positions where they are, they're vital because they're smack bang in the middle. So it gives them good opportunity to rotate if it goes left, if it goes right. Regardless, they've at least got more bodies on the ground. But again, as we've kind of seen through the last few days, Lee, sometimes these 2-2 splits don't happen, because if a team of 4 does pull up on you, you know, you're at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, a big one. Where's Red Diamonds going to find themselves a home? They're coming in from the north as well. You can see Raise Your Edge. They've finally made it to the edge of Lipovka. They're going to be able to just sneak their way in towards the edge of the city and get themselves at least within that circle. It's took them to, what, phase 3 to get there. It's not been a pretty run for them, of course, going down to Primorsk instead of North George. Crate dropping down, that's pretty much just outside of Mansion, so Pittsburgh Knights, I don't think they will go for that one. It's going to be out in the open. It is a Grows level 3 gear. We'll see whether they decide to risk a couple of smokes for it. It's a fair distance. They're thinking about it.
They should be able to get that, and again, I think at this stage, with no one else really behind them, provided they've got a couple of smokes, I think the level 3 upgrade is definitely worth it. That's
Brexco. I was just thinking, where's he going with that buggy?
Shot. Jimbo at distance with the Kar 98.
Look at Kane body blocking the bullets. Body blocking the bullets to try and stop the bleed out there, but he can't do enough. And Voxic stole it from Mansion?
Yep.
Wow, okay.
24 just flies across the map and says, thank you very much. We'll take that 1 point, Liquid, and we'll put it in our pocket. Good job by the Knights there. Slow and steady wins the race, that kind of team. Then I'll sit back and happily take full advantage of that situation. And again, because of where they're posted up, they'll have a bit of a decent eye line on all of these fights, to be honest with you. There's no one in the back of Mansion. So if a team does want to come in there, like Vitality, for instance, they do have the capabilities to do that.
Ooh, TSM on the move. They've gone into the edge of Lipovka and actually Raise Your Edge are in the next door warehouse. I don't think TSM will be expecting anyone in Lipovka at the moment. So that might be a bit of a surprise, especially because they've come in on boat. So there'll be no vehicles for them to spot.
Raise Your Edge's gear should be fine and they'll be able to get any final meds off that they need. I don't think TSM would really expect anyone in Lipovka, but you'd expect Gustav to do the normal kind of scenario that he does. He plays the back foot and watches for any snakes in the grass. They've almost been killed by it before.
That's a hard shift for a Circle 4. It pulls up towards Heaven and Mansion. And as you can see, there's already teams getting mobile. FaZe Clan sending it. Mexi's going to be the man out. They're going to go 2 vehicles, and IP are doing a similar job, and it may be a bit of domino rally as they all crash in towards the Mansion area. Now, Mansion is a big, large area to try and defend for one team, and now we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 teams all crashing in towards Mansion, while Pittsburgh Knights are the defenders. This is going to be absolute carnage.
Look at all these bodies just flying on into the forest. 1 member of FaZe, 2 member of FaZe. Fuzzface is also here. All the cars coming in. Knock them down. Line them up. Easy peasy. Bodies all over.
Done.
F in the chat. FaZe Clan 16th place. That's not good for a game number 1 for the boys. That ended yesterday on a win.
And it's Vitality that are trying to sneak their way in this one. They've just been sitting in the grass. Obviously, Pittsburgh Knights, they're trying to pop out. TSM have come crashing the party out of Lipovka. We still have, I think, 5 or 6 teams in and around the Mansion area. It's absolute carnage. As Rory tries to keep Kramer and Drayden at bay while Wookie gets himself healed off. He's already managed to clean out the house at Mansion. Rory pops out. Can he get Kramer down? That's a Groza coming straight at him. Tries to burn the vehicle down. Gets the shot down on him. Kramer pushes it though, and will manage to finish him off. Wookie, the last man standing for TSM, being pressured by the Knights.
He's got level 3s on, remember. He can happily do this. Although that grenade could be absolutely fantastic. He's banked it off the floor, and he is hiding in the smoke just outside the front of the building. So these nades will at least keep them at bay, but they can lock Wookie down. Again, Kramer with the level 3. It won't help against a grenade, unfortunately, but the nades are going up and over. The bullets are also coming through. TSM, another big name here in the PUBG Pro League, goes down in 15th place.
Wow, FaZe winning the last game, going out in 16th place. We've seen it so often, but you know, you could be forgiven for the amount of teams crashing in there. Raise Your Edge trying to send it as well. They're going into the exact same spot, deciding to, in the end, stay very much on the edge, which is the right place to be. Team Liquid did the same thing. They decided to stay in their ditch way out on the edge, along with Na'Vi also playing the edge game, because at the moment it is a bloodbath inside Mansion.
Na'Vi trying to get a knock through the smoke and see if they can make any advancement of it. Monkey, unfortunately, in the kill feed will be confirmed by a doozy, so Red Diamonds, they'll pick up a point off the back of that. However, G2 have already, unfortunately, fallen to the hands of Team Liquid. We saw the knock coming earlier on, and then Kate was cleaned up. And wants to try and answer one back here as Jimbo's throwing the nades up and over.
He hasn't really managed to, you know, obviously James known for being the nade king, but hasn't seen any of those big ones coming out yet. Of course, Wookie Bookie had that 4-man in the first game of Thursday. First game of the entire phase, in fact. Speaking of teams clustered together, NIP very close to one another at the moment. Winstrike nearby. You can see G2 and Team Liquid down on the south side of the circle, still going at it. Joker's still got 2 clustered in that little smoke bomb at the moment, trying to keep themselves alive, but the nades continue to fly between Team Liquid and G2.
This is the fight that we kind of have to stick with, because it's a fight, to be honest with you, for the backside of this circle. Whichever team comes out on top will be in an absolutely fantastic position. You can see Liquid, they are getting closer. Kill after kill, knock after knock. You got to watch that kill feed, because there's still battles going on in the background. But now they have the knock. They might be able to push this one through. James is going to get aggressive 2 times on the back of the Scar. Let's see if he can pick any more up.
Oh, he is trying to go for the revive, and he's not going to have time for this one because James has already got the flank. There's the smoke. It clears out. He manages to get himself the spray down. Chris pops out. Even with nothing left, he still manages to body James with a headshot. But Team Liquid will clean up. They're going to get the revives off here as well because Jokers are not going to be able to pressure them. And they'll be back on the feet with 4.
Because of that lip, they can actually get the revive here. Empty might have to go and reposition. The circle has moved away from them, so he may have to just kind of bail from this engagement and go get themselves a better spot to move after they've taken this fight. They'll be able to get the revives. More importantly, they have the ditch, or should I say, the little embankment that there is. There's the burnt-out vehicles. They've got the body boxes, all the gear that G2 had. Liquid can get themselves together, but they're outside of the circle. The fight was worth it. They've got the points, but they don't have the position.
The Western Circle is all CIS right now. Na'Vi, Jokers, M19, Red Diamonds up in the north. They're all trying to cluster into one spot at the moment. The Jokers have made a nice little leapfrog there. D-Mash was separated from his team. Jokers keeping 3 alive, and he's got inside the circle. Jempty's just done the same thing, sending it for Team Liquid, finding himself a big space down in the southeast of the circle. Meanwhile, you can see Na'Vi. They are out on the edge right now and forcing themselves in on the Jokers.
The Jokers want to try and, again, clear this ridge line so they can creep in and move more towards the mansion side and make sure that Navi isn't lingering behind them. However, as you mentioned, Lee, the battle for CIS dominance currently, M19 onto Pokemolodai, Sonpai also onto Magister as well.
There's a 4-way battle.
Yeah.
4-way battle in the north at the moment. ENCE, Red Diamonds, Vitality, and CrowCrowd with Winstrike third party in for the beauty of it, as well as Navi try and blast in.
Just got another knock, so that's the Jokers completely wiped out, Lee. 4 teams onto the Jokers have just battered them.
And it was M19 from Heaven, really, that had the big advantage. You can see them laying the damage down onto Navi as well. Pokemolodai down. Recurrent is, well, pretty much knocked. I don't know whether he's going to be able to get back on his feet here, Sadovnik. I think instead he's trying to dodge and duck and weave. But you can see this forest area is getting very, very congested right now. NIP got themselves into the compounds, which is really the saving grace for them, along with Digital Athletics and the edge building there, while everybody else. But battling, look at that. Navi, we were talking about them getting battered. He's snuck his way in there somehow by hook or by crook. I'm guessing he sent it with a motorbike and managed to get himself in the zone. Team Liquid, though, they have the entirety of the southern edge of this circle, and now they've snuck in to the edge mansion building.
Mansion Forest might be where we're going with this next circle. Jempty did a fantastic maneuver while Team Liquid were getting himself back together. He opted to move for a better location, just looking into the mansion, which then opened up and said, okay, well, we can go to the garage compound, which he has done. Circle centers with the edge of the mansion just teetering on the side of it. And that leaves M19, Red Diamonds, and ENCE, who all have to make their way in. And as soon as you get to this tree line, Lee, unfortunately, it's just littered with players.
Rich says, it's phase 6. There's 29 alive in this area. And this is far, far too congested for 29 players. All living the Wookiee life at the moment in the hills and the trees, battling. You can't really go for this one with so many players alive. He needs to just try and keep himself quiet as he watches Red Diamonds. He's fairly well disguised, in fairness. He's got the decent tier 2 helmet on him alongside those rocks. So he's got a good position. But yeah, you can see Best Luck and Pin in the distance quite clearly. M19, they're sending it, they're going for it, they're coming out of Heaven, they're going to be blasting straight in. It's Pittsburgh Knights, they're going to be heading towards it, looks like. And you can see the Red Diamonds taking pot shots at them, but that compound they're crashing in is the one that we saw Wookiee Bookie losing his life on TSM, but they do get in safely. As the Pittsburgh Knights try to go for a middle building, Kramer gets picked off in the open, and now Navi goes for it, battling, gets the double spray down, has to back away, hits the dirt, he's got a doozy and pinned down, but Bestelok's trying to launch him. Can he confirm it with a nade? Has to duck behind the tree.
This will be great if he can pick up these 2 points. He gets one, pins down to his right-hand side. However, Red Diamonds have definitely got his angle red. Bestelok might throw out the pre-smoke just to try and catch him off guard. The stims are there at least. He turns 2 points for Batulian. This is amazing work for him.
Bestelok down as well.
So they might actually, if Senpai goes to Bestelok, there's even more breathing room for him. And he's still inside the circle. He could hold them here. He could make something happen off the back of this. He might even be able to steal another kill and pick up 3 points.
Meanwhile, in the picture-in-picture, look at that. You can see his set is basically surrounded by ENCE. He's got 3 players all around him. Battling against Bestelok, gets himself another 5 kills and counting. Finally, his reign of terror comes to an end of Navi there. Beautiful Death finds the nade on him, but it leaves Hello Senpai, the last man standing for Red Diamonds. Look at Set's position, and you can see 3 members of ENCE around him, along Nasus Please just off to the side. Winstrike still with 3 alive as well. covering that tree line. Team Liquid are really one of the teams to watch right now. With still, I think, the only team with 4 alive as well.
Oh my word, you could not argue with that play from Batulin. He made the best of a bad situation, to be honest with you, and picked up a fair amount of points while it was a one-man band. Okay, going down in 11th, it might not seem good, but still 3 points off the back of that is absolutely outstanding work. Nasus still in amongst the trees. Set decides to pick up a point as well. He's hiding down in the reeds. These players need to be aware. Turns on 2. Amazing work.
He knows what Squeaky is.
Squeaky go for the 3 versus 1. It might actually happen. No, he can't. Squeaky denies it and manages to stay alive.
Sure, just about. That's 2 superhero moves we've seen. And this is really a story of the score system, isn't it? It's like, can you snake it? But if you snake it, like 2 kills, 3 kills, that's already looking at a top 5 position sort of thing. So it's worth it just to... He basically sat there for, what, probably 2-3 minutes, scouting out exactly where the second the circle shifted, he's like, right, now is my moment, because I'm not going to be able to get up and run. I have to go for this.
And the thing is, when you get the knock, you have to go for the confirmation straight away. There's no looking for more players to try and take these 2 versus 1s, these 3 versus 1s. You've got to take that 1 point in front of you, because if there's more players coming, they're going to bat you, and it's going to be all for nothing. There'll be no points in the barrel whatsoever.
NIP wasn't able to get the res off, it seems, on MBS, so they're down to 2, and they're separated in buildings as well, which is not going to be close.
I did wonder why one of Team Liquid was down. It's probably because of this man. The big boy with a big gun. Drayden with an M24, just watching the angle of Team Liquid. Now, Team Liquid have all 4 players alive, which, if they want to push the building, like Kramer and Drayden between them, would have to do some serious work. I mean, Kramer's still rocking that level 3 gear and the Groza, so if they do decide to try and breach the compound, he's at least got the AR to deal with them if they do want to push it. But still, 4 members of Team Liquid could do so much damage here, just to every single team.
NIP managed to get into the same building, which is actually left an open for Winstrike. But what we're looking at here, of course, the split, is Sampai and Nasus. They're both solo players for their teams, and they're both pretty much within spitting distance of one another. M19 find themselves something down south. I think that was a knock onto Team Liquid. It was. It's Sampai that will go down. Nasus has been an absolute monster for his team, but this may be the end of him as he gets picked off, and Winstrike will finally clear out the battle in the forest. Digital Athletics going looking for it, but there's Gaxi. Immediately strikes the second they come into vision.
Everyone's slowly just worming their way into the edge of this circle from outside of the forest. It looks like we're going for a full-blown mansion finish. Might be a battle in the courtyard. We'll see how many more can actually survive the battle of the forest. 3 players alive here for Digital Athletics. Ira with this SLR might be able to do... I mean, there's 2 SLRs here amongst them.
Where would you rather be?
How did he even see... How did he see him?
Would you rather be on the inside or the outside right now?
I'd definitely say inside, because obviously Circle's going to push them into that area. So like NIP... the Knights, for instance, they'll be able to mop up people that have to make the way into that area.
Well, NIP are coming round. A beautiful death tried to get into the building. It's been stormed down. The 2 members of NIP, and this is, I think, probably their best finish ever so far into the top 6. It's been a really bad first 2 days for NIP. Let's see if they can stretch their legs and go a little bit further as Digital Athletics try to move in the houses. Winstrike are moving in. Team Liquid, they've got to go for it here.
This is the important one. Pre-smoke up and see how much they can really survive with Drayden and Kramer knocking at the back door, and also M19 been able to give away the position. Maybe M19 weakens Team Liquid as they do have to make this push. They have to go straight to the building. They have to deal with Drayden, and then once they're in the building, they have to deal with Kramer. But there are 4 players alive, and you can see they're already peeking, they're already poking. The Knights, they are ready for this push. This could be a lot of points here for the Pittsburgh boys.
While it's happening, Winstrike in the north also making their way against the wall, so they've managed to creep their way in as Gaxi has to keep an angle on them. Team Liquid looking to try and make their move. The smokes are down. They have to go. It's now or never really for them, and you can see Kramer with the Groza just spraying them down. Drayden's trying to find them from up on high. M19 don't take too many shots and get involved in this one, but they have got the building. Ibiza gets down. Gemty has got just inside, so he's close enough to try and cause some problems. Samty gets close, but it looks like Ibiza's going to be left in the dirt.
The question is...
They're going for the res. James is trying to get the res.
I'm interested to see if Wookie Boy is rocking level 3 armor as well, and see if that was a fresh crate. I don't actually know. You'd have to assume so, that the player inside the building for Team Liquid does have level 3 gear on. How all 4 of Liquid have been allowed to get to this point in the building, I have no idea. Drayden and Kramer should have done much more damage than what they did.
They obviously had no nades, because an underhand nade there would have been just like on point. Just roll it out the window effectively. But now we're into Phase 9 with 16 players alive inside Mansion. That's 6 teams. It's such a big gulf in points where you could finish right now between these teams. Obviously, 10 points going to the winner as much as you want of his nade.
I'm glad they snapped to this. They look at Gaxi, he's pre-nading and he's ready for the oncoming assault. Sees them just dipping past the back of the building. They're on the garage. That's a decent nade. 2 for 1. And now he needs to lay down the fire. Make sure you confirm them and pick up the kills. Otherwise, the Blue's going to steal them.
If you go down now, it's just the 2 points. That's all you're going to get out of this. That's a horrible position to be in when you're in the final circle. But that's the story we have.
Liquid just stole one of them.
M19 sneaking across. Kramer and Drayden, they've dropped down. They're trying to push onto Liquid. It's not worked for them, and they go down in 6th place. Just the 2 points for them, and Team Liquid looking strong as they get the Wanderer down, and M19 try and make the move.
Yep, they instantly snap back off the back of the Knights and moving over to M19 there. The opposing force on the opposite side of the road. Nuki will probably go down to the Blue here. He's trying to get out of the garage. He'll be heavily damaged, so whether he can not take a member of Team Liquid is a completely different story.
The best compound right now is M19's. It's the closest to the center, and Team Liquid realizes, look at that movement. It's beautiful, but they're getting caught in the back by Nuki. They try and go for it, but it's an absolute slaughter! And Team Liquid hit the 3rd, down in 5th.
Nuki, the one-man band, unfortunately, knife in the back there is a beefer, does fall victim. Gaxi and Vard still 2 up here for NIP, finds him, job done, finishes off the remnants of Winstrike there. They did see them on the initial push from the Forest side, so at least pick up the final few points that they can. Gaxi still trying to lay down the fire, but he has to be careful. You poke the bear, you'll get the claws. M19 still plenty of players alive and kicking.
The center spot is right in front of this compound, right? Digital Athletics is right there in the courtyard. It is a horrible finish spot. Iroh comes around the side. He catches Constantine down. Elite player's going to try and squeeze forward, but Iroh is just lying in the dirt. He's going to pop that AK out and take his head clean off, and M19 will drop down in 3rd place. But Digital Athletics, they can't get in. They cannot get in the gate, and it's NIP that will surely take the winner here. Vard just needs to heal himself up. They're eating the blue. They're eating the blue. It's going to hurt. They get around the side, and they're back in the smoke. Iroh and Sixmo, they have to heal up with the smoke. The blue is on their back, and it's absolutely punishing. Will Vard get Gaxi on his feet? I don't think so. He's just going to go for the win.
1 versus 2 scenario. Digital Athletics, snake in the grass, finds one, goes for 2, doesn't quite connect. Digital